Good day everybody. This video will give you a brief overview of the Garmin Fenix 7 Pro and also serves as a launch video for the tutorial videos that will be uploaded as time goes on. Most of these features will be compatible with the Fenix 7S Pro as well as the Fenix 7X Pro. Those are just different size options of the Fenix 7 Pro series. Some of it will even still be relevant to the non-Pro versions of the Fenix 7 lineup, but that will probably change as time goes by and the features drift further apart. In these videos, I will explain how to perform certain functions on the Garmin Fenix 7 Pro, and if those functions are available to do in the Garmin Connect phone app and web portal, I will show that as well. I will assume that you have already switched the watch on, did the setup and connected it to the Connect app. I have used my Garmin for a few months now, so my screens are not default anymore and may look different from yours. But hopefully by the end of the series, you will be able to customize your watch to work exactly the way you want it to. Let's get into it. There are 6 ways to interact with your watch. Firstly, we have the touchscreen. You scroll through your menus by scrolling up and down. And if you want to select something on the menu, just press once on that. And then you swipe right to go back out. On your watch face, you can long press on any of the data fields and that will bring up that specific data or feature. So for instance, if I long press on my steps, it will go into my steps field. Now you will notice that once I touched or pressed on the steps field, there was 3 little circles that came up on the left hand of the screen. That means that there's extra screens that you can scroll down on to view some extra information. Let's go back out. Now, if for instance, I would long press on my highs and low temperatures, it will bring up the weather app. Again, you saw on the left hand side, there's more screens that you can scroll through. Also, you will see on some of the screens on the right hand side, there will be extra little, it's not circles, little squares. That means that there is extra screens to the right that you can view. So you just swipe to the left to see them, swipe right to go back, and then we swipe right out to go back to the watch face. Touchscreen is really helpful on the maps. So if you're in your maps, you can use your finger to scroll through the map and view all the areas that is around you. If you would press once on a certain point somewhere, it will give you some options. It will tell you how far away from that point you are exactly. And if you scroll this one up, you've got some options. You can either go to that location, you can save that location, or you can review that location. If we just go back out, go down, you can press on the plus and minus buttons to zoom in and zoom out of your map. There are 3 ways that you can switch your touch screen on and off. You can hold the down and start button at the same time. That will switch your touch screen off or on. You can also do it in your controls menu by holding the light button. There, if you scroll to touch, you can turn the touch screen on and off. And then the third option is to go into your main menu, go into system, scroll down to touch, and here you can set 3 different scenarios. So in general use, as we are using the watch now, during an activity, or during sleep mode. Now, if you would go into general use on this one, if you can not only switch it on and off, you can also set it to map only. So the touchscreen will stay off until you enter a map, and then the touchscreen will go on. The Fenix 7 Pro has 5 physical buttons on the side of the watch. The first button we're going to look at is the light button on the top left. If your phone is off, then this button will switch your phone on. If you're on the watch face, or anywhere actually on any of the menus or screens, if you press it once, that will toggle your backlight on or off. If you would double press that button, it will switch on the flashlight, and double pressing it again will switch off the flashlight. Now the flashlight will go into the setting that you used it last on. Now, if we would hold the light button, you will go into your controls menu where you can set a few different controls on your watch. This control menu can also be edited, but that will be for a different video. In the middle on the left, we have the up or menu button. You use this to scroll through menus. If on the watch face you press it up once, you will go to the bottom of your glance menu and you use that button to scroll up, and you can do that in any of the menus. If you were to hold that button, you will go into the main menu, and here you can find a lot of settings that you can go through. So in any of the menus, if you press this button, you go up in that menu, and holding it goes to the main menu. On the bottom left, we've got our down button. If you press it once, you will go to the top of the glance menu, and you use that button to go down on any menus. Doesn't matter where you are. Even if you go to your activity menu, press that button, it goes down, while this one takes you up. Now, by default, if you hold the down button, it will open up your music controls. You can set the hold function of that button in the hotkeys menu, which I will explain in a different video. On the top right, we've got our start and stop button. You will see it is a different color than the other buttons. On your watch face, when you press that button, it takes you to your activity and app menu. Now, once you have selected an activity or an app, you use the start button to select that. And you would also press that button to start or stop the activity. So if we would do a normal run and we start running, press that, and now the activity has started. And as soon as you are done with the activity, or you want to pause the activity, you also press that start button. Now it is paused. Now you can either resume it, or when you press save, it means that you are done with the activity and you want to save the data from that activity. I am just going to discard the activity. Now, the start button also is your selection button on any of the menus. So if I would go, for instance, into the glance menu and I do not want to tap on the screen to select that, I can press the start button to select that as well. You can use all the functions on your watch without the touchscreen being active at all. On the bottom right, we've got our back or lap button. What this button does is normally takes you back from the screen or the menu selection you selected last. It also switches on the backlight if you are just on your watch face, but it doesn't switch it back off. It's just the light just goes on because it detected some action on the watch itself. So for instance, if we were to go into the menu, we press the back button, it's the same as swiping right. Even if we go into a menu item, let's say we go into our appearance, we go into glances, the back button will do the same as swiping right. It will take you to the previous menu option, and lastly, it will take you to the watch face. Now, the lap part of this lap back button does give you laps on your activities. So for instance, if I want to record a lap, let's say I'm going around a track. This is not a track function, but you can use it as a track function. If I start a activity with my start button on the top right, and I would run around a track, and let's say I go past the start point again, then I will press the lap button to mark that lap. And I can do that as many times as I want. If we've got 10 laps or 20 laps or whatever, I can do that again. Let me just put the backlight on again. So going past the lap a second time, it records a second lap. Okay. What it also does is that during multi-sport activities, it will move you on to the next discipline of what you're doing. So for instance, I've got a multidiscipline activity that I've set up that is for mountain biking, or actually running, mountain biking, and then kayaking. So if I were to start that activity, what the lap button will do is it will give my transitions between the disciplines. So this is run, mountain bike, kayak. This starts with a run. So if I start it, it will record my run. Now, if I'm running wherever, it's normally on a trail run. If I go into the transition area where I take off my running shoes and get my bike and so on, you press the lap button and that will move you to the transition area. And it will also then count the seconds or minutes that you're in that transition area. As soon as you've got your bike ready and you've got your shoes on and off and you've got all this, your helmet on and so on, and you start on the mountain bike part, then you press the lap button again, and that will take you from the transition area into the mountain bike portion of your multi-sport activity. Okay, that will be the same with kayaking. I'm not going to show you that again. It's going to be exactly the same. Just press the back button to go out of the menus and back to the watch face. What you can also, as default, the back button, when you hold it in, it takes you to your recently used apps. And it's also a quick way to see the battery percentage left on your watch, as on the watch face, it only shows you the amount of days left. You can obviously also change this default holding by going to the hotkey setting, which I will cover in a separate video. Okay, so that is it for the overview. If you found it useful, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for more videos coming that will explain features in more depth. Leave your questions in the comments below, and if there's a certain feature you would like me to cover, let me know. Thanks for watching.